App State finally names their starting quarterback. It's Locked On Sunbelt.
You are Locked On Sunbelt, your daily podcast on the Sunbelt Conference, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, Dave Schultz back with another edition of Locked On Sunbelt, your team every day. Today's edition is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn to get started. Okay, so we'll talk about App State with their quarterback situation. JMU and Texas State holding out, okay? And then the final conversation with the three Ragin Cajuns, former Ragin Cajuns that we did, all in camp with the Washington Commanders. Unfortunately, on Monday, we found Farad Gardner got cut. We'll see if he gets picked up or makes the Commanders practice squad. Percy Butler will be in his second year as a backup safety, and we'll see what Andre Jones is doing. That's who is going to join us at the end of the show. Andre Jones Jr., the defensive end for Washington. But let's talk App State for now. Here we go again. Sean, make sure I get this right. Sean Clark going with the red shirt freshman. And he is a true red shirt freshman, which means we're going to get another 3 or 4 years starting quarterback with App State. Let me see, make sure we get this right. But Ryan Berger is who we're going with. And he is a redshirt freshman. When we talked with Coach Clark earlier, post Sunbelt Media Days and into camp for about a week, he said, you know, whoever we have is going to be different than Chase Bryce. It doesn't matter who we go with, is that we are going to go with somebody who has a little bit more of a home run capability when running. He's like, Chase Bryce can go get us a first down, and that's fine. But anybody in the quarterback room is going to be pretty good for. He can bring running as a threat from the quarterback position, and that's what it is. Ryan Berger, 6'3", 205 pounds, out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, did not want to go to Coastal Carolina, or Coastal Carolina didn't want him either way. So Ryan Berger is your quarterback, and so this has Taylor Lamb written all over it. This has Zach Thomas written all over it. You look up and it's like, this guy just never leaves. And I know we're in the portal era, and so if something happens, maybe he plays well and he takes off. I don't know. But it is setting up right now for Ryan Berger to be the quarterback for the 23 season, 24 season, 25 season, and 26 season. So you could have gone with, the other quarterback is Mason McHugh. He's a true freshman. You have David Hernandez, more of a walk-on, right? And the other choice was really Joey Aguilar. He's the junior. And let's see here. You have Cameron Estep, who's also a freshman. And that's really, so you have a lot of young guys. So it was really between maybe Aguilar and Ryan Berger with those were the two. It seems like that was the deal. Otherwise, you're starting two true freshmen. So that's going to be a difficult situation. So if you go with Aguilar, then you're kind of building for the next couple of years. But if you were going with Ryan Berger, I would be interested to know what App State fans think about this. Let me see. Did he play it all? He played in one game last year, 26 snaps against Robert Morris, 4 of 6, 40 yards, long of 18. He rushed 2 times for 23, gains of 12 and 11 yards. He comes in highly regarded from Myrtle Beach, almost 6,500 yards, 70 touchdowns, completing 65% of his passes. He's got App State quarterback written all over it. And I'm just wondering from App State fans, is this to win now? Are we trying to win immediately? Or are we going to take a little bit of lumps and we're going to be really good in the next couple of years. We're going to build around Ryan Berger, right? I mean, if you get a quarterback for 2 straight years, you're doing pretty well, right? We're looking for South Alabama, although they won 10 ball games last year, to do a little bit better this season with Carter Bradley. We think that Grayson McCall going to start his 4th year being a little bit dissed with, a 3rd place finish by the coaches in Coastal Carolina in the Sun Belt. And so those two things are very different, right? The Raging Cajuns have Ben Woldridge. He's never been the starting quarterback and played a full season. And so now if you have Ryan Berger and you can build on this year and build on next year and so on and so forth, all of a sudden you have a program that, again, as long as you keep him, right, there's always that chance he plays really well and he goes to one of the Power 5 schools in North Carolina, right? You hope that's not the case, but certainly it's got to be in back of someone's mind. But let's just say, for the sake of this podcast, he sticks around. And all of a sudden now you're filling in the holes around him, right? You're going to take care of that offensive line. You're going to take care of the weapons, right? And the one thing that Coach Clark is not going to have to worry about is the quarterback position. And so that, whatever happens this year, we're looking towards the spring, and we can build on that with Ryan Berger. We can find out what he wasn't good at, maybe improve some of that, or accentuate what he was really good at and do more of that. And so what Ryan Berger is now, I presume is going to be night and day what it is next year, and then the next year, and then potentially next year, right? He could be the next, again, we say, Taylor Lamb or Zach Thomas, but the next Grayson McCall, right? The next guy to be a 4-year starter in the Sun Belt. It just does not happen very much anymore, and it's very exciting for App State. We'll see. Let's see the schedule here. I got the schedule here. Let's see. They're starting with Gardner-Webb and then at North Carolina. Stay hot. You get East Carolina at home, and it's pretty good, right? You're playing North Carolina and East Carolina. That's pretty sweet. They're taking a long trip out to Wyoming, and then you're at ULM to start Sun Belt play. So he's going to have an interesting amount of experience, right? The lower level Gardner-Webb, and then you're playing the P5 in the state in Chapel Hill. And then you get East Carolina at home, and then you're at Wyoming. So all kinds of different levels of football before you're on the road and playing a conference ball game at ULM. And we'll see if they'll be favored in that ball game. Most years, App State would be favored, but we'll see. All right, the more experienced quarterback, a little bit more experienced in college anyways, Jaya Wright from ULM. Then you get Coastal at home, and then you're going to find out right where you are. Is that game 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to find out exactly how good you are. That's already on the Deuce. All right, that's already on ESPN2. Second half of the season at Old Dominion, Southern Miss and Marshall at home, at Georgia State, at JMU, and then you host Georgia Southern. All right, so it is an interesting schedule. Certainly a chance to get off to a good start with Gardner-Webb. It's going to be a tough game against Carolina, right? Last year's game was insane with Chase Bryce. We'll see what happens with Ryan Berger. But App State is all set at their quarterback position, and they could be all set for the next 4 seasons. Ryan Berger is your quarterback at App State for the 2023, probably through 2026 season. All right. Meanwhile, and we'll do this when we come back, Texas State and JMU decide. We'll find out when we find out. All right. So that's going to be interesting if we find out at all over the next couple of days, even before the snap of the game. The Texas State, well, we'll talk about it when we get back. All right. I do want to tell you about Betterhelp. This episode of Locked On Sunbelt is sponsored by Betterhelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/lockedoncollege and get on your way to being your best self. Sometimes in life, we're faced with tough choices, and the path forward isn't always clear. Whether you're dealing with decisions around career, relationships, or anything else, therapy helps you stay connected to what you really want while you navigate life so you can move forward with confidence and excitement. Trusting yourself to make decisions that align with your values is like anything. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. And to be straight with everybody, I'm having my first session with Betterhelp, well, last night as the case may be. It's coming up on Monday night. We'll see how it goes. And I'm being totally honest with that. And we will see how it goes. It'll be only the first session. All right. So if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule, which in my case it is. It's coming up at 7:30 on a Monday night, 7:30 Central on a Monday night. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/LockedOnCollege today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnCollege. All right, we're going to get very busy very quickly here. And I can just feel, I think anxiousness is the word I'm starting to feel. So I want to make sure we sort of nip that in the bud if that is feasible. All right, Locked On Sunbelt, your team every day. Let's talk about, at the final segment, will be Andre Jones Jr., former Ragin Cajuns defensive end. He'll wrap up the show. But let's talk a little Texas State and JMU holding off on their QB decision. Texas State released the depth chart, and we got, I guess, in alphabetical order, right? TJ Finley or Malik Hornsby. Okay. I'd be shocked, and I did not hear any press conference today, busy doing other stuff, but I did not hear if the team knows. I'd be shocked if the team does not know. All right. Doesn't matter if we know. It'd be nice if we knew. It'd be nice if the fans knew, but it doesn't really matter to the fans. The team should know. All right, the team should know. And I have a feeling, well, if they're doing if GJ Kinney's doing both these guys are going to play, right? And it's not UTSA. Hold on here. Texas State football schedule. They have, it's Baylor. Ooh, stay hot. So they do get Baylor to begin with. And also, their schedule may not be quite as easy as we thought. They get Baylor and UTSA. Jackson State got off to a good start. They didn't seem to miss too many people that went to Colorado. They took down South Carolina State 37-7. So now all of a sudden, what we thought was maybe an easy game for Texas State may not be that easy. So just, I don't know if I'm pleased or not. I think it's a funny game that these coaches play. All right, that the other coaches are going to know how Malik Hornsby plays or TJ Finley plays. They're going to figure it out real quick, right? And whoever the first guy's out there, we're going to play this defense, and whoever the second guy is out there, we're going to play that defense. I mean, maybe they spent time, extra time, playing either one, because you really have to plan. If Malik Hornsby is going to play, you have to plan on, covering a running quarterback. TJ Finley, not so much. TJ Finley will scramble and he'll run, but they're not going to run plays for TJ Finley to run the football. Whereas Malik Hornsby, you're going to do that. As JMU is going, I do want to, let's see if we can quote Noah. Let's see here. Noah Fleischman, who covers JMU for the Daily News Record. He did discuss it, or I guess at the press conference. JMU coach Curt Cignetti said the Dukes won't name a quarterback ahead of Saturday's game against Bucknell. Could see an announcement an hour before kickoff. Well, isn't that nice? Cignetti said the team has a good idea who it will be, and he called the backup spot a fluid situation. All right. So they know who it's going to be. All right. The coaches know who it's going to be. All right. And that sounds a little bit different between Texas State and JMU. All right. So they seem to know. And again, it's important. It's just important for the kids to know, right? Who's going to get it, whether you're upset about it or not, right? And not sure how well Trey Lance handled it out in San Francisco. Got traded to Dallas, and he's still the third string quarterback. These guys are teenagers. Some are a little bit more older. I use the word mature, right? TJ Finley's been around forever. So he'll be able to handle it at Texas State one way or the other. Everyone will tell you, well, he didn't transfer to Texas State to sit. Well, if the other guy's playing better, the other guy's playing better. And so they are dealing with things at JMU. I guess they're like you said, we know who the starting quarterback is. We don't know who the backup is. So we'll see how that goes. They do play FCS Bucknell to begin the season. So it'll be interesting to see on how that plays out. So quickly, let's go over. I need to see the standings just to make sure let's see here. Sun Belt standings. Football wise. All right. Of course, that clicks on something different. All right. Sun Belt standings. So who had them? All right. Georgia State had a new quarterback, but that was always going to be Davis Brin, right? ODU named Grant Wilson. That was last week. Okay. Jaya Wright with ULM, Southern Miss, Billy Wiles. And so now we're still waiting for Texas State and JMU. And so we will have to wait until this weekend. I don't know how many, reporters anyone has. So we will see if it gets reported beforehand, right? Kev Chardello does such a great job with the Bobcats. We'll see if he does it, announces it on his podcast, win or get bent. All right, let's take one more time out. When we come back, we had a nice conversation with Andre Jones Jr., former Ragin' Cajun, defensive end, 7th round pick. It appears he's going to make the team, which as a 7th round pick is pretty impressive. We're still crossing our fingers for that. Get ready for the NFL with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use, and you can be on everything from spreads, player props, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. All right, Dave Schultz back with Locked On Sunbelt, your team every day. Quickly, special thanks. We're continuing to grow. We're hoping to get to 600 subscriptions. The audio downloads continuing to grow. We're going to be close to 5,000 this month. That is almost triple on what we had been before. So thank you so much. Remember to subscribe in YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, you can subscribe in those as well. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, let's wrap up. Locked On Sunbelt, your team every day. Had a great conversation with former Ragin' Cajuns defensive end, 7th round pick of the Washington Commanders, Andre Jones Jr. Dave Schultz back on Sports Chat 103.3 The GOAT and Locked On Sunbelt. We continue our conversation with former Ragin' Cajuns, currently in Washington Commanders camp. We'll go all LeBron James, not one, not two. We got 3. Time for Andre Jones Jr., former Cajuns, a defensive end, 7th round pick this past April. Andre, from what I've seen, you've had a great camp. What has camp been like?
It's been going well. It's been doing a whole lot of learning, I would say. Just trying to take one day at a time, like one rip at a time, and just try to get better every day in something.
So when you say you're learning, what have you learned? What has been the big? What would you say is the biggest difference between what you had to do for the Cajuns and now what you're doing for the Commanders?
I would say like the difference is like it's faster, so like I got to be more detailed on what I'm doing, and just having confidence in what I'm doing, just going.
Has it started to slow down for you yet?
It has. Like the more reps I take and just like and keep the stuff, like the preparation I'm doing is like I'm in a better situation every day.
So I'm back in Lafayette now, but I spent a lot of time in Mobile around the Senior Bowl, and we always have this question about guys, being picked late. So, you were a 7th round pick. Was there, what were you talking about with your agent about 7th round pick or non-drafted free agent? Because to be honest with you, the last place the defensive lineman or defensive end needs to be is in Washington, but you're balling out. As a non-drafted free agent, you'd have more of a choice. So how are those discussions going later on in the draft?
It was just kind of like, I'm kind of spirit, I got faith in God. So I was like, talking to my agent, we was talking like, you're going to get drafted. like you're gonna get drafted. Don't know what round, like, but you're gonna get drafted. And like before the draft, I had the injury at the combine, but then I had like a private workout, and I had like 15 teams come. More would have came. They had to go somewhere else because they all came for LSU pro day. So, I had. I had a good bit of teams there, and then people telling me they like me, hit my agent up and stuff like that. Yeah, I had like 2 teams fly down to work me out. So they told me one thing, and it was like, all right, it's cool, and the draft came, it's like it kept like around, teams were calling, texting me and stuff like that, and I'm like, well, don't get my name called. And then it was got down to the wire, like it was getting real serious. I'm like, all right, now, like any day now, like, and like when I got my name called, I was just like, it was a big relief. So like it didn't matter it didn't matter to me. It didn't matter as long as I got an opportunity. It didn't matter. I got drafted.
So some people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some people are like that. Some people want to hear their name called, right? They want to be drafted, right? That's the thing compared to, maybe non-drafted free agent brings you a different and maybe a better opportunity. But I mean, are you backing up Chase Young? Are you on the same side? Where are you on the depth chart behind Chase Young? And has he helped out any? And how's that going?
I'm playing both sides right now.
Okay.
I guess when you're a young guy, you don't have a choice. Like what you want to do? Whatever coach tell you, get in,
right.
Get in, and then you make the best out your reps. And he been helping me too. Like the whole room, all the DNs, not just him, Montez, FA, James, Casey, all the guys been helping me. They always tell me we in the meeting rooms what I can do better and stuff like that, or they'll tell me that's a good rep and stuff like that. So they just tell me keep going.
All right, so we sort of know the difference. Oh, I probably don't. The difference between playing left tackle and right tackle. What's the difference between rushing from the left side or the right side?
Nah, it's not much difference. I mean, some people better on their left side, right side. I mean, it just with me, I'm like, wherever I can get in at, that's just me. I'm just grateful. I just want to just get this work in.
Do they ever sneak you inside? You doing stunts or anything like that? You ever lining up next to Montez inside?
No, it's we had it's been a couple times where Chase moved inside and I've been outside side of him, a couple times in training camp. But as far as I guess they like me on the outside, just put like that. They want me to keep aggressive.
How big are you? Because you're pretty good size, in terms of, defensive ends.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I don't gain a lot of weight since college. When I got up here, I was 250 something, and then when I came back for training camp, I was 265. So I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the 260s every day. So
All right, that's pretty good. All right, we're talking with Andre Jones Jr. on Sports Chat, 103.3 The GOAT, and the Locked On Sunbelt. Your team every day. What's it like to have, some familiar faces, right? You got Farrard Gardner and Percy Butler on the team. What's that like having them in camp?
It's an amazing feeling, because we feed off each other. One of us make a play and just it just get us activated, the old days. So it's better self, you get to see get on a team with your old teammates, man. And they got here last year, man. Who would have thought I would be here? Nobody would have thought that. So we just turn up every time we on the field.
I mean, let's go back to the beginning, right? You're playing 1A football in what, Barnardo, Louisiana? From Barnardo, Louisiana to the NFL? I mean, does that happen very often?
No, doesn't. Not even that area, that whole Washington Parish area, from Bogalusa to Franklinton, that's it's very seldom, so I'm everybody back that way look good to me.
How many people in Barnardo?
Probably about 1,000, 1,500.
That's about right. The census was about just over 1,400 back in 2010. So when you make this team, you're going to have more people in your neighborhood than you did in the entire town.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Have you dealt with have you dealt with the Metroplex traffic yet? I mean, that's some crazy stuff. Or are you living out there by the stadium?
I stay close to not far from our practice facility, so I mean, it's a skip and a hop. So I traffic. I've been to traffic a couple times, but it was like on an off day or something like that. So it wasn't like a day where I had to be at the facilities or something like that.
Have you ever been to DC? Did you have you
Yeah,
taken
I've
the
been.
opportunity to walk around DC?
I've been in DC 3 times since I've been down here. It's nice down there. I mean,
Yeah.
but I feel like in this Ashburn area, I got everything I need, so I don't really have to go down that way.
Yeah, but they got a couple other things in DC that are not necessarily everywhere else, right?
Yeah, but I'm good on that.
couple things, right? Like I learned about that in school. That's that thing.
Yeah.
That's that thing, right?
Yeah.
All right. All right. A couple more minutes here with Andre Jones Jr., former Raging Cajun. So you're talking about, seeing your, fellow players make plays. There was one weekend after the first game, after the first preseason game, right? Everybody was making a play. Percy had an interception. Braylon had an interception.
Yeah.
Eric Guerrer is making a play. We had a touchdown in there. Eventually, we saw highlights of you making plays. What's that like when all of a sudden you're going home in Sports Center and it's like Raging Cajun, Raging Cajun, Raging Cajun, Raging Cajun. All teammates.
It felt good because like we used to be in my old days when we all used to be in the locker room. We all know we could be in the league and make plays, and like all of us making plays at the same time, bro. Like we proved ourselves right. Like it's just like we did not get on the phone, but like, bro, we knew we can do it. So like a lot of people don't know about our school. Like we didn't win like a lot of games like last year, but in 2021, like we could have lined up with anybody. And like on the real note, like we had a SEC D line, like we had top tier linebackers, and our secondary was crazy. People forget we was top 5. Like I'm like, I think top 5, top 10 defense. Like we could hold our own with anybody. Like and we had one of the best quarterbacks. We had the running back duo, all that. Like it's like people were sleeping on us. Like, but you come from the Fun Belt. We don't ever get our respect like we supposed to.
I mean, do you have your scared money don't make money t-shirt? Because you guys need that t-shirt, right?
I still got it.
You do have one. You do have one.
I still got it.
All right. So what have they told you? You've balled out a couple of weeks as we wrap things up here with Andre Jones Jr. I mean, I wouldn't be able to sleep. I don't know how you're handling it, right? Because cut down day is Tuesday. You got one more game to play. What have they told you anything about the process? Probably just keep your head down and do your best.
They ain't told me nothing. I just been working. Like, I really kind of not trying to worry about that, man. Like, I feel like I don't want to put more stress on me. I just want to go out there and just perform, have fun, play ball, just play ball. I feel like sometimes when you don't see certain things, it bless you. Like, it could be a blessing and curse not to see certain things at a certain time. Just play ball right now and have fun.
Yeah, don't put your stress on yourself. I'll put stress on you. Don't put any more stress on yourself. I'll do that.
Nobody put no stress on me.
Sorry about that. He's Andre Jones Jr., former defensive end for the Raging Cajuns, now with the Washington Commanders, 7th-round pick this past April. Andre, best of luck to you. Thanks for hopping on 103.3 The GOAT. We will be following you. And see, here's the thing. It's only camp, so you got time. But when you're an NFL player and you big league me, I'm going to let you know about it, all right? Do not big league me once you get to the NFL.
I ain't doing it.
Thanks, Andre. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you.